Hi, my name is M D Pitman, and I am going to be reading this week's Sunday story, my piece called Willie. I wrote this initially in week 12 of the Iron Writer Challenge. I have since expanded upon this, and here we go. Joey and Willie were the best of friends. Whatever Joey did, Willie did. Usually they played hide and seek, but Joey wanted to use his new wiffle ball and bat. Joey ran outside wearing his plastic Roman soldier's helmet — he didn't have a baseball helmet — and two thick lines of his mom's black Halloween lipstick under his eyes. "Willie, let's play." Joey raised his arms, displaying his bat and ball. He took off his helmet and tossed it and the bat by the bush, which was home, and walked to the mound. "You may want to put that on in case I come high and hard." Joey winked. He held the ball at his waist before a high kick windup like Steve Carlton, only right-handed. He hurled the ball over the plate. Joey jerked his head up to the sky and turned, looking over his neighbor's house. He hung his head. "There is no way you took Steve Carlton deep. Let's see how you handle Mike Schmidt." Joey marched up to home plate, picked up the bat, and threw the ball stuck in the bush towards the mound. Joey whirled the bat and stared at the mound. He slowly waved the bat once at the mound. Twice. A third time. Right before he stepped into the swing, a voice came from the back door of Joey's house. "Joey, time to come in." Joey whipped his head around and dropped the bat. "Dad!" "Sorry, Willie, my dad's home. I'll come get you later." He knocked his helmet off and dropped the bat as he bolted up the hill of his yard. He ran up every other step of the deck and leaped into his dad's arms. He squeezed the breath out of him. Joey's head buried into his father's chest. His dad coughed and laughed as his face beamed. "Are we going to Montreal, Dad?" Joey looked up with wide and excited eyes. "No, bub, I didn't qualify." Joey's eyes relaxed. "Aw, man." Joey's voice displayed his disappointment. "I really wanted to go to another country." "I know, son, world traveler. Unfortunately, I had some bad luck. On my final vault, my pole broke. But we'll try again in 4 more years." Joey's dad, though, knew it was unlikely he'd qualify because 38 would just be too old for the 1980 Olympics. "What were you doing outside?" Joey's eyes beamed again with new excitement. "Willie and me were playing ball. Can you believe he took Steve Carlton deep?" "What? No, Carlton will get him next time." Joey and his dad hardly ever missed a Philadelphia Phillies game. They were among the many that started to cheer the beloved Phillies in 1975 when they had their first winning season in nearly a decade. They were hopeful they would win the Eastern Conference and possibly make it to the World Series with the likes of Steve Carlton, Mike Schmidt, Jim Catt, and Tug McGraw. His father mussed Joey's hair. "Go clean up for dinner, champ." Joey's mother was sitting at the kitchen table. She braced her head on her hand. She just hung up the phone sitting on the kitchen table. She called for her husband. "So, Nancy, what did the doc say about Joey still playing with Willie?" She traced her hands over the rotary dial. They want to either give him more medicine or take him to a specialist." She exhaled deeply. "I'm so worried, Dan." She rubbed her already red eyes. "Why can't we just handle this ourselves? Just take him to Willie's grave and tell him he's dead, and hold him tight until he stops crying." "You know why, Dan. The doctor said it may scar him even deeper. He's fragile." "It's been a year and nothing has helped. I'm just frustrated," Nancy said, finishing his thought. Dan pinched the bridge of his nose. "Yeah, I know. I'm frustrated too." The smell of fried chicken with a hint of green beans filled the house. That smells good, honey." Dan hugged Nancy from behind and kissed her neck as she stirred the green beans. Whenever Dan returned from a meet, Nancy always fixed his favorite meal. It was also Joey's favorite, too, and they thought it was needed since Joey had another episode of playing with Willie. "I swear, if he doesn't show any signs of improvement, I'm going to take Joey to see Willie's grave." Nancy could only muster a "but, honey," because she knew Dan would do it and was almost at the point of agreeing with this treatment. I know. The stomping of sock feet broke up the silence between Nancy and Dan as Joey ran down the stairs. The 9-year-old slid on the hardwood dining room floor toward the dinner table. He nearly toppled his chair as he ran to sit down. He inhaled as he sat down. My favorite, Mom. Mine too, buddy, Dan said to him. Carefully holding the bowl of mashed potatoes away, he cradled Joey's head and kissed it on the top as he walked behind him to sit next to him at the circular table. Nancy, with chicken and the green beans on one giant tray, sat the food down and took her seat opposite her husband. They held hands and said grace. Joey's eyes were still excited as he held his plate up and his dad served him a heaping pile of potatoes, 2 spoonfuls of green beans, and 2 legs. He rubbed his hands together after placing it down in front of him, but soon the excitement on Joey's face faded into a somber stare at his plate. Mom, Dad, can I tell you something? They quickly looked up from their plates at Joey, then at each other, their mouths slightly gaped. Then they fixed their sights back on Joey. Yeah, Dan said hesitantly, reaching for his hand. Anything, champ, anything at all. Joey paused. His eyes started to become moist, and a tear fell down his right cheek. I really miss Willie.